Hi, everyone. My name is Claire Harding. I'm a supervising teacher at Compass Charter Schools, and I am going to go over simple, compound, and complex sentences with you today. So what is a simple sentence? A simple sentence is a group of words made up of a subject and a predicate. It is also known as an independent clause because it forms a complete thought and can stand alone as a sentence. So some examples of a simple sentence would be, she read many books. Sally likes to read very much. There are 5 books. I like her pink bow, and her beautiful shoes are purple. So those are all simple sentences. They are all independent clauses because they form complete thoughts and can stand alone as a sentence. So next, what is a compound sentence? A compound sentence is made of 2 independent clauses joined together with a comma and a conjunction. So some examples would be, his pants are blue and his hair is dark. I left my book, but I brought my paper. Do you like red or do you like pink? Now in these sentences, you'll notice that there's a comma and a conjunction, but not only that, there are 2 independent clauses. So remember, independent clauses are clauses that can stand alone and form a complete thought. So remember that. So in compound sentences, we have those conjunctions. How can you remember conjunctions? If you remember fanboys, that might help. So fanboy stands for and, nor, but, or, yet, so. So remember fanboys, and you've got your conjunctions. So lastly, what is a complex sentence? A complex sentence is made of 1 independent clause and 1 dependent clause. So some examples would be, because I like frogs, my sister thinks I'm gross. I'll play outside when I get home. Since I passed the test, my mom is happy. So if you look at these sentences, remember they have an independent clause and a dependent clause. So in red right now, you'll see the independent clause. Independent clauses can stand alone and form a complete thought. So all of these in red can stand alone and form a complete thought, which means they're independent clauses. So let's look at them. My sister thinks I'm gross. Can stand alone, right? It's a complete thought. I'll play outside. We could make a sentence with that. So it's an independent clause. And my mom is happy. Again, you could make a simple sentence with just my mom is happy. So those are your independent clauses. And then the next part of a complex sentence is your dependent clauses. These cannot stand alone. They don't make a complete sentence. Because I like frogs. When I get home. Since I passed the test. So there's some signal words that signal when a dependent clause is going to occur. So here's some signal words. So if you see these, you're going to have a dependent clause. After, although, as soon as, because, before, by the time, even if, even though, every time, if, in case, just in case, now that, once, only if, since, though, unless, until, when, whenever, whereas, and while. So let's look at some examples of these 3 kinds of sentences. A simple sentence would be, I enjoy listening to music. Has 1 independent clause. A compound sentence would be, I enjoy listening to music, but I would rather be outside playing. That sentence has 1 dependent clause plus another dependent clause plus a comma and a conjunction. And then complex sentence would be, Although I enjoy listening to music, I would rather be outside playing. Remember, a complex sentence has one dependent clause. That clause cannot stand alone as a sentence. It's not a complete thought. Plus one independent clause. That clause can stand alone. We could write a sentence that says, I would rather be playing or outside playing. So that is an independent clause. So remember those because we're going to do a little bit of practice. So I want you to practice with these sentences. You can write them down or just put it in your head and see if you're correct when I show you the answer. So they're either going to be simple, compound, or complex. So the first one, after I finished my assignment, I was able to work on other things. What is that sentence? Is it simple, compound, or complex? And if you said complex, you are correct. If you notice, after I finished my assignment, that's a dependent clause. I was able to work on other things. That's an independent clause. So we have a complex sentence. And there's our signal word, after. While I clean my room, will you do my laundry? What kind of sentence is that? Simple, compound, or complex? And if you said complex, you are correct again. While I clean my room is our dependent clause. Will you do my laundry? Independent clause. So remember, complex sentences have a dependent clause and an independent clause. And while is our signal word for our dependent clause. My cat is sleeping here. What kind of sentence is that? Simple, compound, or complex? If you said simple sentence, you are correct. Again, so great job. And our next one, the baby grabbed the food and his mom stopped him quickly. What kind of sentence is that? Is it simple, compound, or complex? And if you said compound sentence, you are correct. If you notice, we have two independent clauses. One is the baby grabbed the food. We could make that a sentence all by itself, so it's independent. His mom stopped him quickly. We could make that a sentence all by itself, so it's independent. But we combined these two independent clauses with a conjunction, that's our and our comma. So that became those two independent clauses became a compound sentence. The rug is a beautiful shade of purple. What kind of sentence is that? Is it simple, compound, or complex? Give you a couple seconds. And if you said simple sentence, you are correct. Has one independent clause, so it makes it a simple sentence. The blocks are nice, but they break very easily. What kind of sentence is that? Simple, compound, or complex? Give you a couple seconds to write that down or just say it out loud. And if you said compound sentence, that is the correct answer. The blocks are nice, but they break very easily. We have two independent clauses, which are the blocks are nice and they break very easily. We combine those with a conjunction, which is but and the comma. My mom likes chocolate and vanilla frosting. So I'm going to warn you, this one might be a little confusing. So remember what you've learned about simple, compound, or complex sentences. I'll give you a few seconds to think about that. What do you think that is? My mom likes chocolate and vanilla frosting. And that is a simple sentence. So some of you might have thought that was a compound sentence because we do have a conjunction. We have a conjunction and. But if you notice, we do not have two independent clauses. We only have one. My mom likes chocolate. The vanilla frosting isn't an independent clause. We can't make that into a sentence all by itself. So although we have the conjunction, we just have one complete thought. So that's just a simple sentence. The printer will be turned off while everyone is working in class. What do you think that is? You think it's simple, compound, or complex? The printer will be turned off while everyone is working in class. So go ahead and write that down or say it out loud. And let's see if you're right. It's a complex sentence. Why is it a complex sentence? Well, it has an independent clause and a dependent clause. Independent clause is the printer will be turned off. The dependent clause is while everyone is working. If someone said to you while everyone is working, you'd be waiting for them to finish that sentence. So that makes it not a complete or not an independent clause. It's a dependent clause. We're waiting for something more. It's not quite finished if we just said that. So thank you for listening to this little video on simple, compound, and complex sentences. I hope you all learned something new today, and I hope you have a great day. All right, thank you.